What our listener writes about is probably extremely irritating, to be the least, and difficult to be thinking about and ruminating on. But what happens over time is they may be getting somewhat, quote, worried about it. And that's what we want to talk about. That's what we want to stay away from. This is why we want to nip this hyper-awareness in the bud. It can become all-consuming, especially if you lean toward being more stressed, being more anxious, because that could be a ticket to ride down to the wormhole. And I want to first say how wonderful it is that you are doing your therapy and you're staying busy. And it sounds like you're actually able to not think about it so much, but it is going to creep back in. And that's why we want to go over some ideas today on how that can all change. We don't need to be spending a lot of time in hyper-awareness. When we find ourselves in it, we want to congratulate ourselves because then we can say, oh, this is great. I have awareness that I am doing this, and that means I can do something about it. And I also want to point out before I get going here that it is normal on the healing journey to have ups and downs. Healing is not from left to right, a direct straight arrow upward. No, healing is a lot of ups and downs, back and forths, round and about. We are human, and it can take us a bit to sort things out physically and mentally. I want to talk about for a second the feedback loop that is created by fixating on a sensation. And this is where attention and checking reinforce the sensation's presence or its intensity. So we are doing this by going back to it over and over again. We are reinforcing the fact that it is there, and we are spotlighting it. So we are paying more attention to that than all of the whole rest of our body. Now, this is a normal thing to do, especially if you have had health anxiety in the past. And so I want you to grab a hold of some of the points I'm going to lay out for you today, because we can nip this in the bud.